Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back at one of my favorite locations because you know what? We have a ton of seagulls here, but we also have the smallest of the Nissan sedans. This is a 2020, totally redesigned Nissan Versa. This one is a top trim. It's the SR trim. But before we dive into this pint-sized sedan, let's talk about the Versa. So the Versa for so many years has been that go-to for inexpensive A to B transportation. Nissan wants to change that. They want to get rid of the whole rental car feel. And one thing that they've done successfully with this new Versa is accomplished getting rid of that rental car feel. Not only is the Versa longer, it's wider, and it also has tons of interior space. Plus there's a lot of finishes on the interior to kind of bring it to a new level. So let's go ahead, dive into this subcompact sedan known as the Nissan Versa and see, is it the standout in this category? Right off the bat, the styling looks just like a Sentra, just like an Altima, and guess what? Nissan did that on purpose. When you look at the headlight housing, you're gonna have your headlight arrangement with your LED daytime running lamps. As we come down, you're gonna have your lower fog lamps. I like the way they surrounded it with a little bit of flat black. Also, if you look at the design element, they do a great job at Nissan, really showing a lot of definition. So this top portion kind of extends out. I like the way this lower portion kind of extends out in the bottom area. Really gives it a lot of extra shape without having to tack on any lip spoilers or anything like that. Now, as we come across the center grille, you have this dark chrome finish, has the V-motion shape. So this is a brand identifier. You look at the Sentra, Altima, Maxima, even the trucks and the SUVs, all the same V-motion shape. This is functional up top, functional on the bottom with some horizontal slots here. And I think they did a great job with the styling portion, how they took the body lines and just kind of brought it all the way down into the lower area of the front fascia. The gloss black is just enough. I think this gloss black area, nothing too crazy, but I like the way it definitely fits into the whole family lineup of Nissan sedans. And you can see this Versa, if you park it to the previous generation, makes the other one look like a golf cart. This has some style and it's got some width to it. Now, when we get up onto the hood, you'll notice how they take the body lines from the top of the front fascia into the hood. And then you're also gonna get two outer rises that go towards the A-pillar, kind of gives some extra definition. As we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup on the SR trim. So you're gonna get machined aluminum, gunmetal gray finish on the wheels, real clean design. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size? Is a 17-inch wheel. I think it works fine with the Versa. Definitely enough meat on the tire to give you a smooth ride. And to be honest with you, Lori and I drove this down to Miami, this particular car, and surprisingly, it actually rode pretty smooth over the highway bumps. So that was a nice, pleasant thing to look forward to. Now, as we go down the side, flat black, you're gonna get gloss black on the mirror caps, slim and trim on your LED turn signals, no sunroof or anything like that. The belt line kind of raises from the fender and it goes up towards the rear of the vehicle. You even have a lower body line near that sill extension. And then as we go towards the rear, you'll notice how we have our floating roof design. So they take the flat black, they bring it into the rear pillar all the way to the glass, and that gives us that separation, that floating roof design. We come to the back, you're gonna get a nice tasteful trunk lid spoiler, the SR badge. I think they did a great job on the taillights. And as we drop down, a little bit of this faux carbon fiber design. I'm kind of scratching my head on it. I'm gonna zonk it. They should have just left it flat black. I think that would have been just fine. But the good news is no fake exhaust, no fake vents. You get a simple simulated rear diffuser, but clean. And from the back of the vehicle, you could see the width, the extra width there. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this new Versa. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm not gonna zonk it, not on this particular vehicle. It's all the way over to the right, way out of the way. This is an engine where you can see it would have been a little better to have an engine cover because there is a lot of dirt underneath the hood. This particular vehicle has about 11,000 miles and it is a press fleet vehicle, so usually those miles aren't always the easiest. But you're looking at a 1.6 liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder engine pumping out 122 horsepower, 114 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through either a CVT or you could still get a 5-speed manual on the Versa. MPGs is really where you're really going to come out the winner. 32 on the city, 40 on the highway. 0 to 60 though, very sluggish, 9.2 seconds. Top speed around 115 miles an hour. I guess the wonderful news is, like I said, if you're looking for a naturally aspirated internal combustion engine, this one is definitely going to maximize your MPGs. Plus you got that great room. Speaking of the room though, let's get to the interior and see what the Versa brings to the table. All right guys, we're inside the 2020 redesigned Versa. This is where you're really going to come out on top. You thought MPGs were where it was really at. It's the interior space for a subcompact car. Now I know you're probably saying, well Joe, I would like to get a new A to B kind of car, something that looks clean, also gets maximum MPGs. How much is this one? You're looking at MSRP for an SR trim with the CVT. You're looking at $21,000. Let's see what you get for the money. Now to the door panels, I have to report it's all hard plastic. So very hard plastic up top. I wish they would have used a softer material, so I am going to zonk that. You do have some softer material on the armrest. I like the orange stitching. The faux carbon fiber is fine with me. It doesn't swing me one way or the other. The door pocket, though, very small. You might be able to fit a pickle. You know how like when you go to the convenience store, they have those pickles in a bag? You could fit a pickle in a bag and a bottle of Coca-Cola to wash that cucumber down. Because remember, pickles are just cucumbers, so get over it. Now when we get to the dash, soft material in the center, hard material up top. Silver with the black looks clean on the AC vents, but I do like this soft material with the stitching. We open up the glove box. There is your space that you have. Plenty of room for Twinkies, that's for sure. Close it up. I do like the way they integrate the AC vents nicely at the top of the dash here. And then you're gonna have an all new 7-inch infotainment system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Real simple, easy to use. It's got your satellite radio and everything. And I'm telling you, on the trip, it was a breeze to navigate through. All the stitch work is wonderful. You have your standard AC controls, no dual climate, but you do get heated seats. And then look at this connectivity. They do have you 12 volt, USB, and an aux jack. You have a nice cubby down below for some Snickers, maybe a Three Musketeer, maybe a Butterfinger. I'm itching for a Butterfinger. Remember those Bart Simpson commercials with the Butterfingers? This is going to control that CVT. And let me throw it into reverse so we can show off that backup camera. There is our backup camera. It's actually not too shabby, to be honest with you, and you have trajectory, which is great. So I really like that. Start stop button conveniently placed. Just a little bit of gloss black, little cubby for some Skittles, 2 cup holders, good old fashioned e-brake when you want to drift out that rear end of your Versa. Armrest, like the soft material. It's interesting shape, but it works. I thought for sure I was going to be like, oh, Lori's going to take over this whole thing. She actually had plenty of room, and I had plenty of room on this little tiny nub that sticks out. So thank God for nubs. Open this up. You're not going to be able to get a lot of Twinkies in there. Maybe some mini Snickers bars. So you drop those in there. You even got your little slot for your quarters for when you're going through tolls, or maybe you're just flipping a quarter at people as a tip. Close it up. Here's your seats. They are cloth, but I do like the orange stitching, the orange touches, even down the center, look very, very tasteful. Manual seat controls for both the passenger and the driver, but you do get plenty of headroom in here. No sunroof, but plenty of headroom. Why don't you come over to the business end though? I want to show you behind the flat bottom steering wheel on this Nissan Versa. All right guys, business time. Now this particular SR has the optional under vehicle lighting, so at night when you're in a garage and you want to illuminate the car, you can. It's really bright. The Versa badge lights up. I like the brushed aluminum trim, looks really clean. Steering wheel, like I said, flat bottom, nice thickness, almost looks like a wheel out of a 370Z or something like that. The baseball stitching is great, flat black on the buttons, and then the dash. It's simple, it's straightforward. You got an analog tach, and then you have a very, very large 7-inch digital display next to the speedometer that's got your fuel, you got your driving aids, you can scroll through a cornucopia of different information, which is really great. Overall, simple and just to the point, and I think that is the winning point on this Versa. But why don't we check out the back seat and see if you're gonna be doing any tongue wrestling with somebody back there, if there's enough room. Let's go check it out. All right guys, backseat time, and this is really a place where in the previous generation, for somebody 6 feet tall like myself, it'd be a little tight. I do have plenty of headroom. You have only one pocket, but hey, one pocket's good enough to put plenty of Slim Jims in there. I do like the way you get not only one, but 2 USBs. So this is really showing you how they've elevated this car, definitely from rental car status to something a little bit more. And the room is great. No armrest back here, which is a zonk. But the good news is if you have that passenger back here that you're tongue wrestling, maybe you don't need an armrest because you're busy doing other things. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the trunk and see how much space we have in this Versa. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. Before we do, let me show you, I forgot, Victor reminded me, here's your Nissan key fob. It's the older design, but the good news is, if it was good enough for Noah and the Ark, it's good enough for you, and I like the way it's small, because it's not gonna take up a lot of space in your pocket. It's a lightweight. You do have remote trunk access, which is great, which I just did. Plus, it's so small, it's not gonna poke you in the groin, especially if you're a guy. That's no fun. But let's see what kind of trunk space we have. We open this up, nice large opening, 15 cubic feet of space. Yes, 15 cubic feet of space in a subcompact. The seats are gonna do a nice 60-40 tango split. And that's what makes this Versa, think about the name, Versa, versatility? I don't know. I think maybe that's where they got the name from, because it really shows just how versatile this Versa is with versatility. Say that 20 times fast and get back to me. But why don't we go ahead? We have the keys. Let's take this Versa for a spin. All right, guys, we left our undisclosed location. We're in the 2020 Nissan Versa. Now, one thing that they did besides add extra room is they made the seats a little bit more comfortable, and they also added a little sound deadening to try to keep out the road noise. And that's another way that it elevates it from feeling like just a regular, you know, like economy rental car feel. Space up front is great, even with two larger people, grown adults sitting up front, which is great. You're gonna get the nice suite of safety features, blind spot monitoring and whatnot. Brakes feel good, even with rear drums. Overall, you're not gonna be taking this to a road course anytime soon, but let's get on throttle. This is the part where somebody on a skateboard is probably gonna pass you, but you know what? That's not the intention of this car. But I do have to admit, there was a moment on the trip to Miami that when I was trying to get on the on-ramp and merge, I just didn't have enough power. I couldn't get out of my own way, let alone the way of everybody coming up in that right-hand lane. So, and nobody was letting me over. So it was a little bit of a tense moment, but you know what? The car, it's great because you don't have different drive modes or anything. You just get in, you start it up, and you drive. And you're gonna get those maximum MPGs very, very easily. The CVT, of course, has simulated shifting, which is great. Visibility out the front is amazing. It's like the whole front end of the car is just glass in a good way. Looking out the back, even with the headrest, super clear, great size on the side mirrors. Would be nice to maybe have wireless charging in here at this price point, but remember, this is subcompact class. You are getting definitely a lot of extra features that you just did not get in the previous generation of the Nissan Versa. Acceleration test from a dead stop on throttle. So as you can see, when you're full on throttle, you're not getting any simulated shifts. It's just holding the RPM very, very high. It's a little on the buzzy side, but the great news is that from a reliability standpoint, it's naturally aspirated. You don't have to worry about a turbocharger or anything like that going on you. And I'm gonna come back to what I said before, MPGs. This car is about adding some style to a subcompact, but also bringing some more MPGs out of the equation. Right, guys, before we get back to the undisclosed location, let's see how the Versa handles on throttle through this right-hand bend. So as you can see, she holds the line fairly well. A little bit of body roll, but that's to be expected in a Sentra. I think overall, you're gonna be impressed. And for somebody who maybe needs their first vehicle, second vehicle, 100 vehicle, or a great A to B type of car, because they really up the game on the style, the interior space, and the fit and finish on the interior. But we're gonna go ahead, get back to our undisclosed location and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a wonderful day here at this undisclosed location. I first of all got to thank Steve, and I know Steve's watching. Hey, Steve, over at Nissan USA, thank you so much for allowing us access to this new Versa. you know what? It was great for me to be able to drive it long distance. It really showed its flexibility, its versatility on that trip to Miami with Lori. But even driving around town, it's actually quite comfortable and definitely changes the name of the game in that subcompact class. But if it's cars like these that you want to keep seeing on Raiti's Rides, these subcompact cars, fuel-sipping cars, cars that really will go the distance mileage-wise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to get out the Crown Vic, working that camera like a champ. Victor's working so hard today. We're going to go get him that pickle in a bag. He's been wanting a pickle in a bag. I'm going to make that I'm going to make that happen for him. So, thank you, Victor, for your hard work, and I will see all of you on the next ride.